Ay, 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 ay.
And see if it works.
Brother, this guy stinks!
Right from the get-go, throwing out a lot of curveballs here. Is G2.
Now I'm gonna react to the game 1 of G2 versus T1, round 1 MSI 2024 main stage. My friend on stream, one of my viewers, Arles, reminded me that T1 was gonna play against G2, and both of these teams are my favorite. I love both teams, so I'm gonna I'm gonna react to the game. I didn't see the game, I didn't see anything. This is just game 1. I'm just gonna react to game 1. And I love both teams, bro. I love G2, I love T1, I love Caps, and I love Faker. But let's see how the game goes. Bro, this camera, I'm too big for the fucking frame. Oh my god, what a fucking monster, bro. I look like a monster.
Is likely to be the response from his.
So we have
I forgot the name of the
draft is Broken Blade.
Oh my goodness!
Understandably, because it hasn't picked in a while, but Lilia, particularly into these melee junglers, with the amount of clear speeds that she has, can be incredibly impressive. Really cool to see her right from the get-go, and then the Tristana locked in with it, so that you still have AD pairing here for the mid-jungle 2v2. And
I'm gonna say this is the best T1 ever. This is the best draft ever. This is the best players that played on the team ever. Zeus, Honor, Faker, Guma, and Keria. Those are the best guys in the team. I never seen a team so consistent, so good consistently, and overall perfect. Everyone, the support, the Guma on AD carry, of course, Faker, Honor, and Zeus top lane. What the fuck?
Mike has played Lilia 4 times this year, but most of it was back in winter, a few months ago. The current world champions here, that will start to even out towards their favor. The question is, can they do it? They brought us something very spicy for game 1. We'll have to wait and see if it works.
Really right from the get-go, throwing out a lot of curveballs here. Is G2.
T1 maybe looking to step in. Here, G2 trying to overload. If Keria does overstep,
against the TF.
Around the wall,
what
and
the
fuck? The knockback. Baker locked up first. There's no way for him to go.
Of course, Faker's gonna get sniped. Okay, alright.
Faker doing there? Pushing in through mid, trying to work with his team. I think he was trying to ward Raptors. I mean, he gets the ward down. G2 with a level 1 plan.
Faker.
I believe anticipating that secure first blood for Broken Blade.
I'm gonna call not worth. I don't know about you guys, but
I'm pretty happy with how that went.
Getting a ward on the Raptor pit, not really gonna be worth giving up first, but went to Broken Blade as well. And level 1 Alistair, you're not gonna want to take that trade, so right from the get-go, G2 looking very explosive here. The one upside for Zeus is that Broken Blade hasn't been able to actually back yet and spend his gold. But once he does, that 1v1 is going to become even more precarious.
Interesting choice of runes in the bottom lane as well.
Bot lane, Kalista has the upper
here instead of Halo Blades. Guma Yushi's running Halo Blades, expecting to trade a little bit more in the lane. Off the Arcane Comet, if you're just going to look for that long-range poke. So we'll have to see how those 2v2s play out as Mickey dives in, knocked up, and that's the power of Alistair into Rel.
Easier and secure.
Broken Blade getting the early level 2. Nice trade on the Zeus.
The Yasuo is gonna have prio always.
You're gonna see how
Doesn't
challenging this
matter
matchup
if
can
TF
be.
is ranged.
And again, I got a compliment on Broken
Yasuo
Blade.
will always have prio.
He's had a bit of a negative stigma around him when it comes to performing internationally. Last year, I think
it's
he honestly had a very solid performance overall from G2 side.
Against a Lilia.
But we'll see how he does so far after a strong start, securing that first blood as Yikes is full clear from top side, panting towards bot. Oda mirroring him on the other side, but note that it's G2 has push in the bot lane. We'll see what Yike can do with this if he's looking for any type of invade.
Do you also see already, and this is something that's only going to become more pronounced as the game goes on, is that Yike is going to naturally outpace Owner. So Owner is going to have to make an impact on the map because of the fact that
it would be very dangerous for G2 to force this. Now they look for a play top.
Des has exhaust, flashes away from the Steel Tempest, would have been knocked up and locked in a card, but can't use it on G2.
The wave state is now in a horrible spot for Zeus. He knows that his jungle is covering for the bot side, afraid of a gank, but fortunately for the bot side, they should now be able to get this push in. Look for a recall if they want one.
Yeah,
you
it's
see Owner
Yasuo.
pathing up towards
It's
top.
Yasuo against
It
TF.
helps that his
I don't know
crocs
why
are there as
Zeus
well, so he
didn't
can do
play
those on the way. But
Aatrox
looks like he's just going to try and make sure his top laner is okay in this
He
lane.
was playing.
Hail Blades coming
Sante
through from
and
Faker.
shit.
We've seen so many. As T1 did try to play around it, but didn't have too much to be worried about. Broken Blade, level 6.
Don't think he can kill Zeus, but he can chunk him out.
He doesn't have.
On the bottom side of the map, will he be spotted on a wall?
Junglers hovering around top. Oh, hang on.
Engage coming in from Kevin. Owner's on his way across. There's the stun as well as Mickey tries to Pheromone it away. Flashes as well. Will survive for the moment. Owner can't quite land the win.
A really good
coming
support.
to join the party.
Holy
Caps
moly.
TP'd in, but T1 able to walk away from
When
this
she
for
took a
now.
lot of
Not
damage
yet
and
level
they
6, so
didn't
doesn't
do
have that
any
losing
damage
lullaby.
because the
T1 going to feel good about that
Kalista
one.
focusing was
Got a TP
focusing
out of Caps,
Alistar.
buying Faker a little bit of time in that mid lane. And not going to give anything up
They didn't
outside
do
of
much
the
damage
Ignite.
to T1.
Mickey does have Hex Flash, so not the end of the world. If they would have gotten the kill, though, that could have been
That's
a big
a wave
turning
gone
point.
now.
Not going
Triss
to be
is
the
here.
case. Caps is going to be able to catch the wave. T1 the proactive play. It's a little advantage, but not that much. Azayas crucially, which is why I think he stayed in the lane for so long, as Broken Blade pulls it, gets it pushing into him, that he wanted to hit 6.
Does TF has
in case
teleport?
there was
I know Yasuo
either an
has
opportunity on the
teleport,
map,
but I don't know
maybe a
if
really
TF has
aggressive
teleport.
push from Broken Blade.
Ooh, the Faker gank.
X flash forward. Faker has a flash. And also just dash
Rex
away,
tag.
dodges the sun. Faker sidesteps. Sublime to see. Caps still has the jump away here.
Really
Owner
good
can look for the win.
sidestep.
Comes lightning across the wall, doesn't land it. Caps now with the push in mid can move up towards this top side and help Yike take the grubs. Looks like Owner won't get any of those first course of grubberinos.
And so far in this early game, things looking up for G2.
Alistar
You
is
kind of look at it
moving,
holistically.
but
Zayas still doing
Kalista
very
is a
well
lone save,
considering the
so
amount of
she
pressure
won't
that's been thrown
push.
towards him on the top side of the map.
He's gonna
Caps going in.
oh
Knock back. We've seen
my.
Caps do this before he flashes.
I think
Not
he's
quite
dead.
enough damage.
One more auto,
It's
yes.
enough
Holy
for Caps to get
shit.
G2's second kill.
Wow, that was a
back
good
into
play by
that.
Caps. That was a really
I think
good
he
play.
might have been able to get out with Caps flashing, having to because of the
He
ultimate.
knew
but
he
no.
would get insect,
Second
but
death here
he
for
did it
Faker.
anyway.
And G2
Because
pulling further
Triss
ahead.
damage is insane, and he
Caps
was
this
he
year
was
has
healthy
been performing
enough to
out of
take
his mind.
at least
Undisputably
two
considered
tower
the
shots.
best mid, the best player
was insane.
in the LEC.
That was insane.
Starts the series off with a solo
Owner's
kill.
here.
Nice camera.
Go goes in with the last breath, the looting lullaby as well, double sleep, Yike knocked back, watch out, Eep!
Yep.
Eep indeed for T1!
One more Q, one
and
more
a
Q, yep.
gorgeous flash from Broken Blade! The key blade
Oh
follow
my
up!
God.
G2 are 4-0 up!
T1.
And the exhaust and Broken Blade,
T1
that doesn't
losing
matter when
for an
Yike is there,
European
level
team.
6. Haunting guy's done. Even with the
Are the
flash.
Europeans
T1
back?
getting obliterated here in the
I like
early
how
game.
Yasuo waited to
G2
Lilia
defying
for
expectations 8
Lilia
minutes
to
in.
recall
They
so he
find
can take
themselves
the
with a 2k gold
off for
lead.
himself.
But we should never jump to
Shaker.
conclusions. T1, they do a good job of finding ways back into the game, but so far this early game is
Dude,
just
this play was
individual
insane.
prowess. Caps gets knocked underneath the tower by
my
Faker.
God.
Quick
It
thinking,
was an
using the ultimate to knock
insect
Faker out
battle.
of range. He follows it up with
Faker,
the reset from his W,
insect, Triss,
and the flash
and
secures a kill. And then we look at the
Caps,
top play.
insect.
And here again, the exhaust, yeah, it mitigates some of the damage, but the sleep still comes through.
That's insane.
And because both Owner
And
and Zayas
he
are
waited.
slapped,
Oh,
is an
he
opportunity.
waited to
Broken Blade
Zing's
getting
ulti
the
to warn
flash
off, so we
knock up
can-
as well.
we have a pause.
Back to a pause. Wow.
We have a pause.
Okay.
against it. And
They
then
were getting
Yasuo,
clapped
it's
so hard they
sick.
paused the game.
We're getting
They
back,
all-
I think.
wait,
Sorry,
wait,
Raz.
let's-
We'll hear from
let's
you.
just
Oh, I want
back
to see
up.
the game.
All right,
Back
take it
up a little
away.
bit.
Punished.
Oh, Owner might just look to get Caps
Ooh,
in with
he
enough
hit
lightning
it.
hits. Caps gonna jump away. Owner can go for the
Caps
chase.
doesn't
There's
have
the
flash.
Destiny as well.
He
And
has
Caps
ulti, but he doesn't
in his
have
jungle
flash.
tries to jump away again.
Yeah.
Flash from Zayas.
Let's go.
T1 on the board.
Nice
At
collapse
least they got
from
Caps.
Zayas.
I don't
And
know why
T1
he
punishing
was
the roam from
roaming.
Caps.
Why
He's
he
going to
was
lose more than
roaming
just a
like
plate.
that?
He's going to lose
It's a
2 waves
Triss
in the mid
with
lane.
50%
Zayas now
health.
going to lose a little bit
Why
of his
he
own,
was
but he shouldn't
roaming?
be too
That
hurt
was
off
so
the back
troll.
of that. T1 proving their
Just
tenacity.
stay on the tower and
After the
farm.
pause, able to bounce back
Wait
and
for-
find
for
a
the
big
game.
pick.
Big thing there as well. Owner in a
They're
good
the
position to
kills, right?
catch the roam back from Caps.
Bro,
Ends
I
up not
love
only
Caps.
dropping a
Caps
blade,
is
but also
so
getting
insane.
killed.
He's
And
so
then because
aggressive.
Owner's
He's so
present, Broken Blade
bold.
also has to play
He
respectful,
doesn't
can't
play
go
like
too
by the
crazy
rules. He
onto
plays
Zayas,
like-
even though the exhaust is still down. As
Plays-
this is one of the things you can do with the Lilia, but
Plays
given
like
that Carrier
crazy.
isn't
He's
currently
not
known on the map, I think Yike makes the right
orthodox.
call.
The ward over the wall, spotting them
Oh,
out. Caps stepping a
Caps,
little
he
bit further
doesn't
forward.
see
He
it.
knows
He
T1 are in
doesn't
his
see
bot
it.
side jungle.
Oh, the
Caps
insect.
swiped back.
The jump.
Be able to jump to safety. His own is coming in. Yike looking for a bit of damage, but the collapse from the rest of G2 is not there, so in the end, it will just be a stop of the skirmish.
A little bit disjointed there from T1, fake committing the ultimate.
Here, so
and I imagine that there would be follow-up, but Owner not quite in position, and of course, being Xin also needs to actually proc his Broken Blade.
He goes up towards the top side. Broken Blade thinking he can step past this, maybe even proxy the wave, to keep Zeus behind in the lane, but now Broken Blade is getting collapsed on. Caps pushing in the mid lane, should be able to get a plate of his own. Broken Blade stepping away here, tries to put the damage down onto Zeus, who locks in the gold card. Yeah, Broken Blade, you don't win this 2v1. Zeus steps in, there's the gold card, Baker shuffles forward, and Broken Blade should fall. He goes in with the last breath, but the shutdown to Baker is enough. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, lives a lullaby on Owner, forces him away. Another plate for G2 as Carrier looks for the stun. Knocked back, TP behind by Baker, still no Shurima shuffle for him. He does have the flash though, and Mickey doesn't have much of a health bar left as T1 continue to collapse. Carrier has the flash. Headbutt pulverize, goes in onto Caps, Destiny behind, and now Caps needs to get the hell out of there. But T1 are trying to send him to the decks. Baker chasing in, Baker finds another. And from what was a great game state for G2, T1 punch back.
Looks like the reboot was successful for Faker.
What?
Just barely able. It was a 4-0 start for G2, is now all of a sudden 4-3.
We are going to get back on into the game.
They paused again. They were getting clapped so hard that they're pausing the game every 5 minutes.
It was the same issue as last time. Gumayushi had a
insane.
problem with his keyboard and hit
on the Caps.
The
flash
thing about
committed from Faker means that he's able to get a bit of revenge.
Especially about Faker,
Yike just barely
is that
getting away with his
doesn't matter
life.
if the game they're losing the game early,
no flash
or
on the
Faker
Azit.
is losing lane
Keep him
early.
busy. Still
He
hasn't
will
spent that gold.
always find a way
T1
to, like,
investing on the top side.
turn
Gumayushi's
around
moved up here, so this will be their Rift Herald.
make a
Hanso's going to be able to
difference
stick a
in the
plate in the
game
bottom
along the way,
tower in the bottom
so
lane
they
with
can
those
win
6
the
grubs.
game. It's
Obviously a lot
always the
quicker
same thing.
in terms of taking
It
turrets,
doesn't
and it
matter
looks like
if you
T1
have
might just be
an
sacrificing the
advantage
second dragon of the
in
game
Faker
to make sure
in
they
the
can
other
get
game.
control
Doesn't matter
over
if you
this
beat
Rift
him
Herald.
in lane, you always
Herald though
find
going
a
to be
way to win
valuable
the
when it
game.
comes to CJ.
Because
Things like
he's a
Tristana and Azia both have
player,
incredible wave
of course.
clear in that Herald.
This is Zeus down towards the bottom side of the map.
I think Caps can destroy the TF.
It's been mostly skirmishing
really
that we've
easy
seen.
for
A lot of
Triss.
2v2s, a lot of 3v3s, and that is where the
killing
TF,
him.
even when he's behind, really, at this point, you can almost buy Shirelle and just run at people.
Zeus,
As,
he's going to die.
Gold card,
Lilia's
but it
there.
doesn't matter.
Yikes on his way. There's no way for
There's
Zeus to get
so
out of this
much
one. Has
damage.
exhaust, has splash. Shouldn't
She
burn
still
either
has
of them. As soon
jump.
as he sees Yike arriving, watch out. Eep as Zeus falls in the bottom lane. Meanwhile, on the top side,
The
T1
kill
taking
should have
charge.
been
Now,
for
Chronicler, this is
for
something that
Triss,
isn't new
but
to Zeus
Lilia
this
is
split,
fine
all
too.
right?
No, he's been doing this a whole
2-0.
lot. The TF game
Can
states
leave
it's really
trees
easy to get
along
caught
with
off
the
guard,
tower,
push
can
way
do
too
that.
far, and with Caps dying twice, it's still Tristana, so is still going to have a really easy time chewing through that turret health. The entire
I
ring
just
of
said
Outers is
that.
going
I
to
just
be
say
gone.
you can live
As
Triss
already
along
mentioned,
with
I think the
turrets.
T1 still have a really
You just
strong
destroy
5v5.
every
You can't
turret,
always
it
create
just win
vision
the game
with the
solo.
TF ultimate.
You can't leave
But
Triss
if you
alone.
don't have a
She's
good grasp
alone,
of where the
on
members
bot
on
lane.
G2 are,
She's
any
waiting
combo
for the wave
of
to come,
Mickey or Yike or
so
Broken
she
Blade
can
finding
clear
their access onto the
and
enemy
get the
backline is
tower.
going to be an absolute disaster.
Turret, all 5 members around here. Caps recalling in a side lane.
yeah,
This
she's
turret
just
is
gonna,
given
gonna
up
go
by
bot.
G2. Well claimed
They're
by
just
T1.
gonna give up mid
I
and
think they
just go
can
bot.
escort
She can
the
take
Herald
that
in
tower.
front of the
if
siege.
no one-
Broken Blade has made his way mid.
I think
Caps
Zeus
doesn't want to
has
overstay bot. He
have
recognizes the potential
ulti,
collapse,
so
and they'll get it.
he's gonna
T1
collapse
getting
to
decent
the-
value out of this Herald.
Azir's
They'll be the
moving,
first
she
to
saw Azir,
open up
so
the mid
she's
tier
backing
1.
up.
G2 will likely look good fine.
Very good call.
I mean, I was thinking to myself earlier, oh, hang on a second, Broken
Ooh.
Blades.
Manages to get onto Gumayushi, who has the claims, who has the flash, and has the chain of corruption, but it's
he-
blocked by the wind wall. G2
he
investing a
windwalled
TP
the
here as
ulti.
Mickey falls to a piercing
Oh.
arrow, and Carrier finds the double
no.
knock-up.
Oh, no.
Yike trying to do everything he can as Caps
Triss
is forced
is there,
away with the
but
exhaust. Zeus logs in the gold
they're
card.
a little
Now
too
Summer has to
tanky for
cleanse.
them.
And there
Ooh.
goes Owner
Ooh,
pushing
Lilia.
forward once again. The
Oh,
Destiny
one
onto the
more.
back line as Yike now locked up, shut down by
shit.
Faker.
Oh,
and
shit.
Summer next on the menu
Tomorrow.
as the dive forward continues.
If she
for
jumps, she's
T1.
dead.
It's beautiful.
And Guma of all people, if he looks to be too juicy of a target, he probably is. The man has been so consistent, he's the bait served up, and G2 take it. Broken Blade had a two-man knock-up there just as Carrier was going in. So a few members of G2 end up making it out. That could have gone even worse here as G2 look to punish, look to go for the mid lane turret, and it ends in disaster.
So it's Kuma that gets knocked up, the engage from Owner to then try and split G2 up. Zeus connects the stun, and then Kuma still ends up securing the kill.
Holy shit,
The
that
nice
that
knockup
arrow
from Carrier
did
means that
so
he's now
much
buying so
damage.
much time against 3 members. Caps is forced to disengage. and then G2 is on the retreat. A nice flash knockup.
This is the bad thing about
the
not having
ultimate from
tanks on the
TF
team.
alongside Faker engaging means that G2 gets run down, and
Zing
just
and
excellent
Alistar
teamfight
against
execution from
just
T1.
Raul
All
on
5
the
stay
game
alive,
is the
and
only
G2
tank in the
lose
game,
3.
so
Yeah, you talked about it, Chronicler. The team fight from
it's not that
T1
good,
is
having
just
an
exceptional.
all-damage
Mickey
team,
unable to have any
all
effect. You
DPS
mentioned that
team.
as well, Mickey.
But between the on-hit Kalista as well as a fed Lilia, there is a lot of powers Broken Blade.
One more down, gold card out, Carrier goes back in, Chain of Corruption for the
Huge
follow-up, Mickey looks
hits.
at the Magnus, Caps dives into the backline, Broken Blade with the last breath, and Zeus tries to flash away, he kills Broken Blade, Caps gets one, but Gumayushi puts him in his place.
He
Sent to the 7 hells as
committed.
G2 lose 2. T1
got
have lost 1,
but
only Zeus
it was not
falling.
enough. He
G2 getting a little
committed too
desperate
much.
with them forcing these fights. Gumayushi and Faker completely untouched. A heavy commitment onto trying to kill Zeus.
See,
means that both
holy
Caps
shit,
and
bro! Am I like a professional caster? Everything I'm saying first, and then the caster says the same thing. I said first that he committed too much, and the caster said he committed too much.
They lose their
They
lives.
also-
I don't know
of
what it
course.
has to be. Now, for the
Holy
first time in this
shit.
game,
Am I
T1
like
is
a
sitting
pro
on a gold
caster?
lead. They're going to be able to get a second Drake here as well. Mickey looking for
Yasuo
another
should have
engagement.
done
There's
that.
not a lot of vision.
He should have waited. He is not
Could try
that
and steal with the
bad.
swirl.
He's
See,
2,
Mickey's just
2,
dead.
and 2.
He's had a struggle on this rel, hasn't really been able to get into the game at all.
As I said,
Faker started this
T1
game 0 and 2.
just
He is now dominating with a 2k gold
Just
lead
turns
over
the
Caps.
game. There's
Level
no,
14 on the Azir, 6-2 and 1.
T1
I mean,
is
it doesn't mean
just
anything, but if you put the
insane,
control
just
ward too far
insane
on your
team.
side of that bush, you can still be
Doesn't matter
spotted,
if you win
and
or
their
lose against
resets
them.
are stopped by Hans
See,
Summer.
the
The moment
gold
they see Hans
advantage
Hopter, I was like,
lap is
oh,
now
wait,
turned
something's up here,
T1
gentlemen.
side.
As we take another look here, even the Broken Blade is
1,000
able to
gold
deny the
ahead
gold card.
of
The
G2.
amount of space being bought here by Owner
See,
and Carrier specifically
what
means
the
that
hell is he
only Caps is
doing?
actually dealing
He
damage
flashed
into the enemy
just to
backline.
die.
And even though Faker doesn't hit him with the ultimate, still with the
Oh,
fight being
God.
split, Carrier standing in the front, there's not enough
That was
damage
so
available.
troll
And just
by
an
the
execution error there
Yasuo.
from Broken Blade. He doesn't get...
Mickey's going to jump the wall,
items.
Faker not going to slide
Free
forward, no
items.
vision in the pit for
think he's the
G2.
only one
Carrier
with free
flashing,
items,
not
yeah.
back,
He's the only
locked
one
up
with
with the
free
stun
items.
card, the chain of corruption.
The game's
and
over.
Caps is
The game's over. That's the
Carrier
video.
once again.
Like and
His Alistar is
subscribe.
absolutely
That's
popping
the
off in
video.
this game.
The game is just
He
over.
punishes Caps, and now the Baron is unlocked for T1.
Tristana
You
and character
can't
were so
give
much built in
Faker
safety, you
6
feel
kills,
safe to just
bro.
walk towards that unwarded brush, but unfortunately for Caps, Carrier was waiting. They will get a consolation turret on the other end of the map. Doesn't look like they're going to get much more than that, though. How they utilize them to pressure side lanes, how they utilize them to set up the map as
Chris
Caps.
is dead.
Gold card once again, Caps
is dead.
exhausted, trying to trade with Zeus, no flash for him. Guma
He's
and
just
Ono
young.
on the chase, dash forward with the audacious
Yep.
charge, chain of corruption, and Caps is
Oh
sent
my
packing. 2-5
God,
and
okay.
2 now.
I mean, I guess Caps was just
4,
looking for something on the
5,
side lane.
6, 7.
T1 are not going to
3K
give him
gold
any
ahead.
options,
It's going to be 4.
which means that T1 going to extend their gold lead now.
4K
3k
gold
is the
ahead.
Baron power play.
See,
Dragon
what the fuck? Am I a caster? Everything I've been saying, the caster says exactly like I said. I talked about Yasuo, they talked about Yasuo. I talked about the gold lead, they talked about the gold lead. Holy shit, am I a professional lead caster?
spawning in 35 seconds.
Looking
G2 are
like
going to be
a
forced to give
monster.
this one away. Faker ticked over to level 16 not that long
Being
ago,
ugly as fuck.
and he's working towards what looks to be
This
a
is
death cap
insane.
fourth
This is
item.
insane.
And we talked a little bit about MSI being T1's Boogeyman tournament. Well, last year at MSI, Caps was one of the main problems on G2. He really struggled to have an impact. This year, he's been performing incredibly in the LEC. We were talking about whether it's Prime Caps back from the dead. In this game, he has been struggling.
Early game looked good, but ever since
It's not that
topside
Caps
roam
is
didn't end up working out,
Caps
it's
is
been
like a
White
gambler.
Rock T1 now setting up,
Gambles every
making their way
game.
over. Baron about
He
to
has
time out, looking to
very
play
aggressive
towards this. Oh, they try to
plays.
cut some
He has
Faker.
very-
Just kill Faker. It's been
Gambles
said so
on-
many times.
Oh,
The burst
shit.
from Faker immediately pops the stopwatch. Guma
He
usually hit the
has-
chain
he
close
has
blocked
so-
with the wind wall, and Faker will fall,
But it's
but Mickey
fine.
almost
They win.
follows.
They
Face
win.
call gets him out. Owner, Carrier, Gumayushi, and Zeus on the chase
Yeah,
forward. Gold
they
guard
win.
locked
They
again.
win.
Carrier gets a double knock of the Caps.
Guma-
Able to marker out of it. Carrier
Guma
on the
can kill.
backline.
Guma can
Kills
kill
off
everyone.
Mickey. Yike trying to do everything he can. Broken Blade low. Buster shot into the engage with the last breath, but it's Broken Blade,
Bro,
who has
Carrier
lost the
is
breath
so
from his
good.
lungs. Yike looking for more. Owner low, Gumayushi and Zeus very healthy though, and Hansama.
Zeus still full
Caps
health.
and
They can
Yike
win,
will
they
just
can
back away. Can look to set up a play, but won't try and trap T1.
Even in a 4 versus 5, T1 are able to equalize the team fight.
If the
they play with
Zeus
such
and the
patience,
Guma
and
is
the way
alive,
they use their
there's no
range
winning
means that G2 really struggle to find a target. Carrier buys a bunch of time with his ultimate, then Owner buys a bunch of time with his ultimate. G2 seem to be limited in their options as to how they win these fights.
Also, one of the big issues that many teams in the LCK have talked about is, oh, Zeus might be overextended here, the TP.
Gumayushi is there, Chain of Corruption about to come back on cooldown. Caps jumps onto Zeus, locked up with the gold card once again. Counter TP as Caps look for the play, but T1 answer with a fist of their own.
Yes,
Caps down again. Baker TP's
T1
in.
takes
And you
it.
have to think that might just be it for G2.
I just look for the end here. T1 pushing down through mid.
We're going to be on the inhibitor tower very shortly. Broken Blade Mickey
The
trying
game
to
is just
defend,
over.
but it's the Nexus turrets that they will build,
It's
will
four-
be defending. I
it's
think T1 just want the
5K
in-hit.
gold
Get the Drake,
difference.
get yourself on soul point,
It's
take
a
anything
5K
from G2's
gold
jungle on
difference.
the way out.
And 28 minutes.
As I was saying earlier, one of the big things that many teams have talked about when it comes to facing T1 is that it becomes a mind game in of itself. Is Faker overextended? Because sometimes he is, or is it just, is the rest of T1 ready to respond? And it becomes kind of a lose-lose situation where you have to punish him in situations like that. But when the rest of the team is ready, it can backfire immensely.
4.2k is the gold lead he has over Caps right now. The bot lane as well for T1. I mean, I was going to say a silent Carrier, but Carrier has not been silent this game.
Again, why are these people doing this? Why?
Caps right now. The bot lane as
Why
well
are you
for T1.
messing up Hex Flash?
I was going to say a
fuck?
silent
Look.
Carrier, but Carrier has not been silent this game. His impact has been
Moving all over
absolutely
the place.
What
flawless.
was that?
And, but Gumayushi,
What?
0 deaths. His positioning has been flawless in these
That's
fights.
insane. I
As
love
desperately
that.
as G2 has tried to get onto the backline, he has really been in no danger at all.
It's like watching
And
a
T1
bronze
demonstrating
game.
the level of their team
Where
fighting
the two
and how
best
difficult it is to
teams
team
in
fight
the-
against this roster.
in the world.
The Dragons
actually.
secured,
G2
T1
and
poised to
T1.
take game 1 of this series. And while G2 showed us
It's
some
so
promising
funny
things in
seeing
the early
people
game,
mess up Hex
T1
Flash
have
like that.
bounced back incredibly well.
You look at where G2 had their lead, mostly on Broken Blade. He's at 3 items, but so is Zeus. Now has a bounty on his head. Someone's really angry at him for being 60 CS down at 1.6k.
Why is Yasuo? Why does Yasuo have a tank item? What is Broken Blade doing? Why does he have Ice Gauntlet? Why does he have an Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't trust
It's
TF. I'll put out a
T1.
bounty on his
You
head.
just
You
do
know
everything
he's
to-
involved.
He's
He's
involved
involved in
counter
some
T1,
nefarious
but-
business,
Him and
okay?
Graves looking shady.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my
Dragon
God.
Storm in as immediately
Oh.
they dive in. Baker puts the Emperor's Demise down.
Jesus,
G2
jump
from the
scare.
darkness found something. Zeus with the blast cone out. Will
What?
G2 overextend for more? Will T1 catch them in that trap?
And that's what I was talking about. You got to keep
you
looking
imagine-
for the plays.
That
We
was a
take down
jump scare,
Faker.
bro.
It will buy them a little bit of time as the Baron is about to come up here. There was a decent amount invested, though. We'll see if
That was a jump
T1
scare, actually.
is going to at least posture, maybe set up a trap.
I will say, Faker seemed to be cautious of a potential play. I don't think he was expecting that, though.
Yeah, he
There was
got
very little he
jump
could do in the
scared, so
situation.
he
Didn't
was
have
like
flash,
jump
didn't
and
commit the
shit.
ult.
He got jump
Now
scared
G2 with
so
the numbers
hard.
advantage, they need to look for a fight.
Baron up, no
Shoot
TP on
the
Faker.
spot.
He's 20 seconds away. Gold card locked once again as Mickey down to half HP. Only has that Trailblazer in terms of completed items. G2 might just call for the
Are
flip
they
here.
really
Go for
doing
the
this?
50-50. You're so far down in the hole anyway.
They're
5,000
gonna
gold
really
behind
try and do
T1.
Baron.
Destiny out. Carrier getting forced away by
I don't
Caps.
think they can
G2
do
still on the
Baron
Baron.
here.
Chain of Corruption
misses.
just goes wide. Mickey locked
Arrow.
up with a gold card once
Win
again.
wall.
The Baron down to 2,000.
There
Zeus
is
takes
that.
one. But Yike
Oh,
gets
wait,
the
this-
Baron.
oh.
Carrier with a 3-man knockup. Owner with the Crescent Guard. Stopwatch coming out as G2 just try and get
But
out of the
Lilia
fight, but
was
they might
able
look for
to
more.
secure the
Yike has
Baron,
the lilting
but
lullaby. Only
I
locks
think
up
they're all
Owner.
die here.
And Summer
Yep,
dancing and
they're
ducking
die
and
here.
weaving
They're
his
all
way
die here. They're all
around the
die
pit,
here.
but he just
Gold
can't get
card.
away.
Whoa.
Gold card locked again as Yike's day
It's
will
game.
be ended. The
Doesn't matter
Baron
if you get
for
Baron.
what? Perhaps
It's
a
game.
Nexus.
Incredible team fight once again from T1. Carrier just keeps finding these engages. They have 5 people alive, only 2 left to defend. I don't know if the Baron buff is going to be enough to keep G2 alive in this game.
It would be a miracle to end
Holy,
the win.
holy damage.
Just demolished.
Holy
Broken Blade there in time with the wind wall. The Baron up minions helping out G2 a little bit here as T1 start the siege. Carrier down to half HP, Unbreakable Will almost back up for him. The first Nexus tower falling lower. They're trying to get both at the same time. They take one. Mickey goes for the engage, last breath, but it's only on Zeus. The Magnus Storm not going to do too much. And it looks like it's all over for G2 in game one. Owner playing with his mood a little bit. Broken Blade's locked up. Cap's trying to get the damage down, but Hans Summer's next on the menu. It's T1 clean up G2, and it's T1 G0.
T1.
The amount of dive available for G2, and Guma somehow ends up with a perfect KDA on an immobile carry. The early game, the counter picks. I love the game plan from
Holy shit, that was cold. They just
G2, but it felt like in the middle there, they kind of lost track.
Okay, that
Once
was
they
easy.
lost control, once you lose control to T1, they are not very easily going to give it back.
The momentum shifted incredibly fast, and T1 seemed to never let it go.
Look at their
We'll have to see what the analysts think of that game, but it was a bagger nonetheless.
That was the most the easiest
it
game of my life.
But this is the best
Look at Faker. He doesn't like
comeback team in the world, and you've given them their comeback on a silver
that's
platter. They will not say no to that, and they finished the game the way.
Is this the manager? Yeah, they're talking to the manager.
They took it over after. I want to say the first month, right?
Bro, if you can, please like the video and comment and subscribe. I know this is just a hobby for me, like making YouTube videos and having my stream, chromalerg.twitch, but I really like doing this. If people watch the video and like the video and comment and subscribe, I think I have a shot of like being a mediocre YouTuber. I have a job, but this is gonna really help me if you watch the video and like and subscribe. I really appreciate the support, and thank you. Have a good one, guys.